is a fund that Alan and his wife Janet, who were parts of the Babbis group from the very beginning. Alan was a brain injury survivor, and he was a patient here at Spaulding, and they helped him to learn how to read and write again, which was so very important to Alan, that the two of them started up this fund in Alan's name and honor. And Alan died a few years ago, but that money is available for speech-language therapy, to be able to go for conferences and other kinds of things to help other brain injury survivors and their families in terms of some of the cognitive rehab that goes on. So I know that that fund has a bunch of money in it right now that's not being spent right now, so we might give to them again, or we might give to them again next year. We'll have to kind of see about that. Final question for now.
Yeah, just a quick question. Would you consider putting any of those pictures on the Babbis site?
I don't know how to do that, but sure. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
It might be a nice thing.
Okay, thank you. It's a good suggestion, and I'll try and figure it out. Technically challenged is my middle name. All right, so before we move on to Nikki's presentation, you're all being so patient, I do want to introduce Judith Frazier, who's a nurse and research coordinator person here at Spaulding. She works with Dr. Ross Savant, who is well known in brain injury circles, and he is a Yeah, he is a physiatrist, and he is doing a lot of research to learn more every day about our brains and what helps and what hurts and all sorts of things. So Judith is going to talk with y'all for a few minutes while I run down and get some forms about some of the research that's going on right now, or upcoming research, because some of you might be good to be research subjects if you're so interested. Don't have to be if you're not, and there's certain criteria. Not everybody would fit into certain projects, but thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. And I'll be right back.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Judith, and I am a research nurse coordinator here at Spaulding. I've been here since February, and I work for Dr. Ross Savant, who's the chair of physical medicine and rehab here. And Dr. Savant has been here for 2 years. He came from the University of Pittsburgh. And since he's been here, he has developed a very vigorous and vibrant research program.
What's his name?
Excuse me?
What's his name?
Ross Savant.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And he is considered one of the experts, probably in the world, on traumatic brain injury. So it's very exciting for me to be here and to be participating in this work with him right now. As you may know, traumatic brain injury is getting a lot of awareness and recognition right now for two reasons mainly. One is our returning veterans who have sustained traumatic brain injury over in Afghanistan and Iraq, and also our professional sports players, particularly in hockey and in football, who also have sustained brain injury. So the Department of Defense and professional sports organizations are creating a lot of awareness around this issue right now, and importantly, they're also funneling a lot of resources to research for traumatic brain injury. So that's very good. So Dr. Savant has created this program, and we are doing a number of different studies. And one of the studies that we have just started now is a study on amantadine. Okay, these are the flyers. They're up here on this table along with my card. And amantadine is a medication that has been around for a very long time. It's got a good track record. It was primarily developed to treat the flu. So if you have the flu and you go to your doctor, you're very likely to get amantadine. And doctors started to use it for other applications, and one of those applications was brain injury, where patients were experiencing irritability and aggression. But there's no real research behind it to show that this is a really good thing to do and it works really well, or it doesn't. It seems to have a good track record. So Carolina's Rehab Hospital in Charlotte, North Carolina did a pilot study several years ago with 76 patients, and the study showed that there was efficacy, that this was an effective medication to use for this indication, and there were very little, if any, side effects. So what then has to happen is a larger trial with more people has to happen. So the National Institute of Disability and Rehab Research has funded a 5-year trial to look at this question. So Spaulding is one of 6 centers across the country who is participating in this study. So Spaulding over the next 4 years is going to enroll 56 patients, along with what we are calling an observer. So that is a family member or friend who will participate with you in the study, and their role is primarily to give us feedback on how you're doing in terms of irritability and aggression. So the study is 90 days long, and it requires 3 visits to Spaulding and a weekly phone call from me for the 90 days. And for the first 60 days of this study, you would be randomized to receive either the amantadine or a placebo. And then from day 61 to 90, everybody gets amantadine. And then during the course of those visits, there's a lot of testing that's done. So the visits are about 2 to 3 hours each when you come. So that's the amantadine study that we're doing. But does anybody have any questions about that study?